Hey, Darkman here, and welcome to my Bleach chapter 646 review. So the chapter starts off with the group, apart from Shunshui and Lily. He's saying that, then they should just go. With Momo being like, yeah, we should go help him. Wait, what? And they say that they should go back and help him, which, again, they don't know that this wouldn't work, but later in the chapter it will find out that this at that current time would not work very well. So that Shinji could just reverse everything and then just have Shunshui just stab him. Or Shunshui could just stab him because he's not as smart as Aizen, so he probably wouldn't be able to figure out how to do everything that quickly. I mean, even with Aizen's super intelligence, it took him some time, so he could pretty much take out anyone he wanted with it. So yeah, he asks, and so Shinji asks now what she's going to do, and she said that she's going to go back by herself while everyone else should move on. And he says, that's a good idea, but one more thing, what do you think that Ukitake would do? Which, I know he just sacrificed himself for you guys, but Ukitake really isn't the greatest person, considering that because of him we had the Ginjo incident. Yeah. He said, and so essentially he'd say that Ukitake would say that if he thinks that he can do it, then you should just let him, and that he'd be able to take it on, whatever. And then it's apparently that settles it there. But then he said, well, he's on a roll. What would the old man the first commander guy, the old man Yama, what would he say or do? He'd stay back and fight and let his soldiers go on, which he really didn't do in the Karakura town fight. I mean, he could have taken out all the Iran cars, or just with one swing of his sword, and then they all could have teamed up on Aizen. Probably wouldn't have changed very much, because they were already hypnotized, but whatever. Also, in this situation, it really isn't the same, because Yamamoto had a giant army of the dead at his command. And he says that that's what it's meant to be, that's how it is to be the Captain Commander. And so Shunshui cuts off the end of Lily's rifle. Lily jumps back and just kind of and it's all back together. And he essentially just said that, yeah, it is his bow, which, how would a reishi gun really work? Does it have, because wouldn't it just be easier to just pull back and let go? Because how does a reishi gun work? Does it reishi gears and reishi gunpowder? Man, if there's in another data book, they should put that in. I've never read one, but I'm assuming that's some information that would probably be in there. And Shunshui just kind of said that he was aiming for his arm, but I guess he was being too merciful, which, yeah, this is the perfect time to be merciful. And so Shunshui appears behind him, slices at his head, saying that he forgot the rules of the game. And he said that if you take your eyes off me for even a second, I'll get behind you. And he says, don't you ever remember when you were a kid and the sight of your own shadow would scare the living crap out of you? And it looks like it looks like Goku. Sorry, I'm trying to make a joke and I failed on my own joke. It looks like Goku isn't the only one who's been reading too much Naruto lately, as Shunshui can apparently use Shadow Clone Jutsu, so yeah, that's good. And so they all come down on, which I thought that they were all just going to be illusions, which yeah, it looks like they are, because they all come down onto him, but there's only one sword sticking through him. And that's when Lily's other eye starts to open, which, he has a get out of jail free kind of ability. Again, Naruto, in Naruto, where the Izanagi essentially gives him another chance at life. So the sword just kind of slips out of him. And he says that he was the last Quincy created, which I thought that like all the elite guys, are, except for like Death Dealer, I forgot his name. It's where I can remember their powers, what their power is called, more than their names. Like for most of them, that's how it is. But yeah, like I thought like all of them were like the older generation of the Stern Raiders. My mind just keeps going blank. And so he says that he's on like a god. He's nearly on a god's level, which another character with god complexion, like thinking that they're like literally on the power of being a god. So he opens his saying that like when his eye opens the third time, the other 2 times are get out of jail free cards. But on the third time, when he has to use it, which should never be allowed to happen because of his high power, it lets him do this transformation thing. And okay, I'm going to try to pronounce this. Isrihaldi. That's totally how it's pronounced. No one's correcting me on that. That's how it's going to be called forever. And with the design of this thing, I don't know why, but every time I see it, it just reminds me of a boss from Kingdom Hearts. I don't know why. Along with the symbol when he's like turning into it, it just reminds me of Kingdom Hearts, and I have no idea why. So like one of his wing things like lights up, shoots at Shunshui, and it looks like it only really got him right here. Because the other one looks like it just sort of like skimmed his shoulder. The other one hit his hat. And he said that and Shunshui says that he's immobile, which I'm assuming that's because of the rules of the game. I think so. So, that's the end of the chapter. It was a decent chapter, yeah. Hopefully this fight doesn't last as long as the one with Mayuri. But I'm like sitting here thinking like they probably will, because it's like these are like going to be like the last like 5 or 6 fights of the entire series. So Kubo's probably going to have them be longer than most other fights are, because like this is the end. Also, he might be trying to get up to like chapter 700 or something, like because it'd be like weird to end on like 660 or 670 or whatever. So he's probably going to like try and like get it up to 700. So yeah, hopefully, but I hope it's like the Mayuri and Perdina fight in a certain way where like if it is long, make it feel like it's actually moving forward. Because in some series, like a fight will just like not end, but you don't really feel like any progress is happening. Like in Mayuri's fight, you could feel like he's running out of like things to use. He's running out of options, and then he uses his Bankai, and then that doesn't work. He's out of options. Like it feels like the fight's continuing instead of just like staying still while they fight for like hours or chapters. Yeah, that's the end of the chapter. His Volt standing design, pretty weird. Yeah, see you guys next time.